afternoon, I took her to our urgent care clinic because I've been in direct contact with our emergency room doctor that was on call.
Sourdough pancakes. Are they yummy or what?
What happened to all my strawberries?
I ate them all.
You ate them all. What happened to all my strawberries, Livy?
Okay.
I just went out and picked all these strawberries, and every time I put them in my bowl, they disappear.
They're strawberries.
Because they what?
Because they feel good. I love them.
Out today. Today was probably my biggest harvest 3 years. You hear a lot of people say sleep, creep, and leap when it comes to fruit. This is definitely our leap year with the strawberries. This is not including all of the ones that they already ate. That is a strainer full of strawberries, not including all of these that I've already cut up. Eating them as I cut them up, and I think Livy wants more. I don't know how many will actually make it to the fridge. I did pick a lot, and it's the best kind of snacks you can get, huh, buddy?
I ate 5 strawberries.
Yeah, you ate more than 5. Now I have another one in here still in on. Babies come out of the barn. These guys will go temporarily up in the other barn with the other pigs in the pig forest. We will slowly acclimate them in with the other pigs in the pig forest. But Peppa's babies will be a while because they are a purebred American guinea hog. They're gonna go off and be fed alone in a section to just try to get some meat on their bones. So they're fixing to go up, and then we'll come back and get Peppa and Mert's babies. Separating these and those because these leave nothing and those don't get anything. So these and those are about to be moved out.
In the pig barn right next to where the other little pigs were.
Yeah.
Dad, drive.
You might can drive a little bit better than Mommy.
Hi, Dad. Dad, drive. Do one more time. Janice, what are we doing? Be a bit in there. Look at that. Are you scared? Yeah. I kill pigs. They don't pig.
Because we want to let these be able to eat on their own. I have a very short frame that I'm going to be moving our rabbits from the rabbit house actually into our little back barn where you saw we had some of our pigs, which we've transferred into the forest. Y'all seen that? Well, they're not in the forest, but they're in the barn in the forest. About an hour or two, get them all moved out, get all the bunny pen cleaned back up. So Sayla over the weekend was watching TV. This was Friday, today's Monday. Friday afternoon was sitting in the recliner watching TV. The remote to the TV actually doesn't have a back on it. The kids lost it a long time ago, and the remote still works, so we've just kind of let it bump. Well, as she was watching TV, she decided to put the AAA battery in her mouth and play with it in her mouth. In doing that, it went to the back of her throat when she was playing with it in her mouth, and she accidentally swallowed. Instead of coughing, she swallowed. Afternoon, I took her to our urgent care clinic because I've been in direct contact with our emergency room doctor that was on call. And they said at this point, as long as she wasn't having any problems breathing and it wasn't a watch battery, like what they call a button battery, it was considered non-emergent. I didn't have to bring her into the emergency room, but they suggested that I go get x-rays just to make sure that she wasn't having any problems breathing or swallowing, anything like that, but just to make sure that it had passed into her stomach. It's always fun times with kids, y'all. I did take her to get the x-rays. They did find the battery in her stomach. Now she has not had any stomach pain, any stomach trouble. I've been checking behind her, not to get too graphic, but we have a little portable commode, potty, toilet, whatever you want to call it, that I had been having her use the restroom in. All but 2 times when we were gone on Sunday, we were at a restaurant, and then the next time we were at church. I checked behind her but didn't see anything. I'm almost 95% certain after checking, even in those regular toilets, that I did not see anything. I took her to repeat x-rays, 4 repeat x-rays today, because I had not found the battery. So I'm like, it's still there. So we get to the same clinic that we went to last time. This was this morning, and they say the battery's not there. We don't see it anywhere. And I'm like, well, if it's not there and I haven't found it, then where is it? So now I'm in this dilemma. I've spent hours this morning sitting in a clinic with her. Unfortunately, we are having to go back. We are going to go back for a second opinion. I just feel like someone telling me, hey, the battery's not there, but yet I have not found it, needs a second opinion. We're actually going to go to a clinic this afternoon again and have her repeat x-rays done again. Get somebody else to say, hey, we don't see it, because there is a very, very, very slim chance that she actually could have passed it, and I missed it because we were not at home with the portable potty for me to just kind of go through, like with a hands-on, not really hands, but to be able to check it very, very thoroughly and make sure that nothing was in there. So she's not had any stomach pain, any complaints, anything really. So we've been very, very blessed for that. I had a lot of concern about it being battery, acid being related. They assured me that with the AAA and AA style batteries, that there's so much coating on them that the risk of those actually opening up, leaking acid, is very, very, very low. And that they suggested, instead of surgery, first to try to allow it to pass. Our prayer has been that it did not get lodged up in her intestine. So we're gonna be going for that second opinion here in just a little while. So I have to hurry up and get our bunnies. I'm in the bunny pen now. I have to hurry up and get them moved over to the back barn. It just gets really, really hot. Y'all see what our bunny pen is made out of, and in the summer it gets really, really hot in here, and it's obviously with their coats, it's like they're wearing a jacket all the time. They do pant to cool down, just because it's April right now and it's still somewhat cool, but it still gets pretty warm in here. I say it's somewhat cool. It's not as cold as not as hot as it could be, but it still gets really warm in here, and they're already panting. So I want to move them out before it gets too hot for them, but I've got to do that pretty quickly just to be able to get Sayla back to her appointment, and I will update y'all and let y'all know what is going on with her. But we definitely want her to pass that. We don't want it to be lodged. She's had no issues, no stomach pains, no really problem at all. That's been Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and today since that's happened. So we're very, very blessed and very thankful for a number of different things for all of that, but also because she didn't get choked on it. It didn't go in sideways. We had no airway obstruction, no problems breathing. We're very, very thankful for that, because that was my first concern, was how did she swallow that down? She's only 7, her little neck is so little, and I thought, just thank you, Lord, that did not get caught up in her throat. So we're very, very thankful, but just praying for that to pass on out and not be lodged up. Gotta have a second opinion here. So here is my 3-bucket system that I was telling you guys about. I'm just gonna pour this off so it won't be so heavy for me to walk back. Because what I'm gonna do is be taking all of this stuff back to where the bunnies are right now. And I really don't want to carry that with no top. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour that off, and I'm gonna show you guys how I do that. It's what I consider my holding tank. It is just a regular 5-gallon bucket. I put all the manure over in there, fill it up with water. Because fly season is upon us, I will be getting a top to cover that up just to try to keep the flies out as much as possible. I was overflowing, so I actually have a second bucket. I will fill this up with water as well. Half this once I strain it off. So tomorrow I will have 2 10-gallon buckets of rabbit compost tea, what I call rabbit poop soup. And here is my filter bucket. So this is the bucket I consider a filter. I just cut a handy dandy little hole in the bottom and found some mesh strainer from Walmart. They were actually little grill pieces that you can put on a grill, and I just literally cut a circle out of the middle of that. This bucket that is right here, top on it, just is a bucket with a top where I have cut a hole. This bucket is gonna go on top of this bucket. This does get a little messy. So before we go this afternoon, I have to go change because I'm already covered in filth. And I'm gonna pour this over through my filter bucket, and my catchment is gonna catch all of the water that has been sitting in rabbit manure, and I will use that to pour around the bottom of my plants, fertilize my plants. Now I have been doing this for several months. I really prefer this method. The buckets do get a little heavy for me because they are 5-gallon buckets. They do get a little heavy, but that's just kind of part of it. So this is what I do. It does get a little messy. I actually overfilled that way more than I should have. I was cleaning out each pen before I moved them. I was dumping them over in that, and then I filled it up way too much, and I thought, well, that was probably not the smartest thing to do, so I put the rest of it, which is why I have a second 5-gallon bucket. And you see the rest that is left in my filter bucket. When I get done filtering the water into the bottom bucket, I will take what's left in here and half it between my other 2 holding buckets. Those will get refilled back up with water, and this will get cleaned out. This will get poured on all the plants, and then tomorrow I will have 2 buckets to use to be able to pull all of the water off of those. Finally done cleaning out, spraying out. It smells and looks a whole lot nicer than it did before. I'm telling you, I'm sweating a lot, all the way down to my boots. Thank goodness for high C boots on days like today. I'm going to fill my compost buckets up quickly, shower and change before I have to take Selah. I'll be giving y'all an update as soon as we find out something on that. The bunnies are in, they're settled. Everything's been changed over, moved over, cleaned out, and I'm very glad to have that done. In the winter or when it's really cold, I'll have access to heat lamps to be able to put back there where they are. If we do decide to move them back in the greenhouse, I have access to heat lamps in there, which is where they were this past winter when our oldest mama bunny had her babies the last time. The boys on one side, the males on one side, the females on the other side. One thing that is pretty cool about this barn is y'all see the ground. No matter what falls on the ground and gets nasty, we can pour bedding on top of that. The other cool thing about this barn is this space right here is big enough for us to pop that board off, and we probably will do this next year, and I'll tell you why. We've had a lot of pigs rotate through here. We've had meat birds rotate through here. And next summer, I have a feeling that we will move, if the bunnies are still here, or before we move them in here, we will pull the tractor up here, take this panel down and pop this board off at the bottom, come in here and scoop all this up. Because this right here under me is nothing more than amazing compost. Because we have had so many animal droppings in here that we keep deep bedding. I can only imagine what is underneath my feet. So that is something that we will probably actually do next year, because you see we have a little bit more space down there before it's over the top of the board. So probably next spring, and this will be a huge amount of natural compost. So pretty cool there. And I wanted to show y'all my broody hen. She gets broody every year. We name her Snowy. And I added some eggs in with her 2 days ago. That is a sign of a broody hen. If she's on eggs and she puffs up like that and kind of clucks at you like, what are you doing in my business now? My Snowy initially pecked me probably 1 or 2 times right when she went broody a really long time ago. She does not do that anymore. When I was getting all the eggs out from her, when she first went broody in the chicken coop weeks and weeks ago, she was very gentle. She would let me get the eggs out from under her without pecking at me or anything like that. That is really good. I did go ahead and move her and give her another space so she can sit uninterrupted and hatch out those eggs. So I am very excited about that, because we do have a lot of eggs in the incubator and I do have a lot of eggs under her. So I'm hoping to have some babies very soon, because my hens are getting a little bit older and we do need some new baby chicks. As much as Colby doesn't love the chickens, we need some extra chicks.